Hello, hello, welcome back or welcome to the channel. We are going to do a little case study with the cards, see what they're trying to tell us, see what's going on with your energy. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. That's true with any sort of, well, that's true with literally anything. So interesting, maybe that's what's going to come out, discernment. Something that we need to discern. I don't know. Let's just see. Let's just see what happens. Okay, one more. One more little shuffle. Here we go. The focus point. Moment to moment. Talking about the Two of Pentacles. So this is a focus on you just tending to what needs to be taken care of in the present moment. This is about balancing tasks. This is about doing just your daily tasks. And specifically, just doing the thing that's in front of you, right? It's like, you can only take one step at a time. Now, you might take a lot quicker steps at a time, but you can still only take one step at a time. So this seems to be the focus point. You know, I never noticed that there's like columns in there. I never saw that before. It almost feels like with the 3D, you tending to these little things, it causes this kind of ripple effect. And it's reminding me of like a structure, like a ripple effect with the structure. Almost like tending to a structure. It's just interesting. So let's just see where we're going with this. We have, this would be what? The King of Cups. Interesting. So this is interesting. This I feel like might end up becoming a bit more of an authoritative type of a reading. With the King of Cups coming in here, it's almost to say it's like you have to use emotional intelligence and not allow your feelings to affect the things that need to get done. Or using the emotional intelligence, like think it through then. Like if you're like, why don't I want to do this? Because I just don't, it's just kind of getting to the root of something. But also reinforcing that these daily tasks are what is necessary for you, for your health even. All right, let's see what else comes through here. We have the Hermit, aloneness. That's what it's kind of reminding me of, is like when you're getting emotional about, and I say emotional because that's typically where the resistance comes in. There's emotion that comes in that makes you, or even a thought. I suppose it's a thought combined with an emotion, right? That comes in to block you from tending to the things that need to get tended to. So there's something that is requiring you to go within because there's an answer to why you're doing that within that. I also feel like that answer should come out in the cards, but let's see what else is happening. But it does feel like, again, you really need to tend to something physically and really go within yourself to find out why you're not able to do that. Because it's so interesting. What you might find out is because that's not actually what your energy wants to do. Your energy actually wants to tend to something else, or perhaps it wants to tend to it in a different way. There's just so much to figure out with why you're not wanting to do it. That's where that emotional intelligence comes in, because it's like there's something emotional that's knocking you off of, you know, wanting to take the action on those things. Let's see what's affecting the schizophrenia. Two of Swords. It's so funny. Schizophrenia. But it sometimes, does it not feel like that? Does it not feel like you have all these voices in your head when you're trying, like when you're confused and you're trying to figure something out and you're like, why can't I just do this? You know, the simplest thing is like weight loss, right? Like it can be one of the simplest things, or it should be, but it doesn't feel like it is. It feels like, well, if I do this, or maybe if I do that, it's like you get into, again, this like schizophrenia kind of confusion energy. So that seems to be like that cloudiness is what's affecting you. And I do believe you'll get the answer to that cloudiness by going within you. You'll get the answer to why these voices are scattered, but you have to lead them, right? Why am I confused about this? It's like, think of talking to your best friend or talking to somebody who you've ever had a conversation with where you just always wanted their advice because you, one, either really like the way they live, or you just have really liked the advice they've given you in the past. I wouldn't say go to them. This isn't the card for going outside of yourself, but I would say, what would that person say? How would that person lead? Okay, like use that as an example of how to get yourself to think in a different way. Because the Two of Swords a lot of times talks about there's a pause because you're waiting for information to come in. That's why you haven't been able to do the tasks, because you haven't gotten through the mental clutter, that is taking you out of that. And again, I also feel like there's this combination with the thoughts and the emotions, and that is going to be very, very informative for you when you start understanding that your thoughts are what is creating the emotion that is also then reinforcing this lack of movement. Let's see what you're sitting on. Well, that's okay. How awesome is that you, my friend, are sitting on, and we have the Death card, you're sitting on a transformation. That's why I think there's this pause. That's why you need to go and recalibrate and go within, and why you need to use the King of Cups, that archetype, as being very emotionally intelligent, understanding. He doesn't get lost in the emotions, right? He navigates through them because he understands them. This is your task. And that is going to lead to a transformation and a complete end. This is about an end to something too. Obviously, there's always a rebirth. Like there is no, I don't know, I guess I feel like there is, in my belief, there is no ending because something else happens. There's something that happens after the ending. So it's not the end all be all, but it is the end of one specific thing and the beginning of something new. So that's what you're standing on. And that's why, you know, you're feeling all this energy around you. So, all right, let's see what's going on with the air. So there's a lot changing within your thoughts. Or there's going to be a lot that does change if it hasn't already, but this is a big change coming, and this is related to the air element. So I would say that there's a big change coming, and what's sitting right on top of that, the King of Cups is sitting right underneath that, which is telling me this big change is going to help with this emotional intelligence. Yes, emotional intelligence, and it has to do with your thoughts. I'm also feeling with the circle that there's a rumination with the thoughts. And that's part of what you can get some clarity on when you go within and seek. Okay, so let's see where the water element is. We have the Fool. There's a new journey wanting to begin with your emotions. And again, with now we have the King sitting on top with, you know, affecting this new journey. What's grounding this in is this new journey with your emotions. And with the King, it's like, this is the new journey with you being emotionally intelligent. That is strongly, strongly going to help you do those daily tasks. And balance everything that you need to balance in the physical realm. It's funny because you can't have the balance in the physical realm if you don't have the balance in the mental, emotional, and spiritual realm as well. All right, let's see the fire element. We have postponement, which is 4 of Swords. So we're waiting. You're waiting, and again, sitting right above this, what are we waiting on? Well, we're waiting for you to go within, aren't we? Waiting for you to go within, and again, just get that clarity. Get the clarity of why you're not wanting to do something. Get all the information around it, and that is how you're going to be able then to navigate differently. But I think part of why you're circling and what throws your emotions off is because you feel like you can't get to the bottom of it, which means you feel like you can't change it. But you can change it. We already have that transformation that is like grounding in. So it is possible for it to happen. I just think that there's a reflection needed and a different way to view things, right? Because you have this picture that's in color and we have this picture that's in black and white, and I'm just seeing it's like you need to see something clearly when you reflect upon it. It's weird. It's almost like, I just feel like there's a stagnation with your physical movement to do things. And there's just a really heavy emphasis needed on you to see why that is. Something really big for you to come on the other side of this. Maybe we'll get the answer. Creativity. We have the Empress. Creativity, developing, the way that you're able to balance and to take action is the thing that is going to change drastically by you going within and really getting to the bottom of all of this information. It's almost like, because these two, well, now I say these 3 cards, it's like you're starting with this new journey. And it's funny because I know that, you would think that it would be the end, the new journey, but that's not the way the cards are showing it right now. But it's showing first the Fool, then this transformation, and then this creativity. And it's almost like not seeing this as an ending, but just more of you actually taking action. But again, with that Fool, you're waiting to take action when you have emotional clarity. Ooh, I'm seeing it a little bit different, like with a direction. Because this is going to end with some fertile growth, with some with developing something in the physical. And it seems as though the thing that would be developed is going to be the way So maybe you even come up with like a system or a structure, like you're developing how you're going to be able to accomplish all of these things. But when you sit down and get to the nitty-gritty of it, that's where I feel like you're going to get the answer. Is when you figure that out, the creativity is going to come through when you're asking that. But it seems like there's got to be emotions that clear, thoughts that clear, and you really going in within yourself to reflect upon the direction that you're going. Once you get the direction that you're going, I think all bets are off, and that creativity is just going to flow out of you, and you're going to find yourself doing, but in an aligned way, because you're fueled by your creativity. Or at least that is what I'm seeing for you in the cards. All right, until the next time, my friends.